tongue-tied many times during this interview. We spoke about many topics, including her songwriting inspiration to her experience recovering from two-stroke. In this first part, we're talking about her musical legacy. Well, welcome to the show. You know, I'm a huge fan, and we've been telling our audience that we're going to have you on the show playing lots of your songs. We just played your song from your first album entitled I Try, and I know you wrote this song when you were in your teens. Can you tell us a little bit about the crush that inspired you to write this song?
Okay. I think of the first crush, a teenage angst, inspired that song.
So how did you react? Because you wrote that song when you were in your early teens. How did you react to Will Downing cover that song like 20 years after you recorded it? It's a beautiful version, but I'm just curious. I mean, here you were a teenage girl writing about this song, longing for a man, and then Will Downing covers it. It's an incredible honor as a songwriter. I'd love to get your reaction to his recording.
Yes, a beautiful voice that Will Downing has, because a beautiful version, too. I like it. A man loves too, you know. You know.
Yeah, I love the universal appeal of that song, and you know, a lot of people think of you as a vocalist and don't really think of your songwriting skills. And you worked on your first two albums. You did so much songwriting. Can you tell us a little bit about your songwriting process? How that worked? Were the lyrics first, or the melody, or did they both come together?
Well, first of all, I have a piano, right? I practice, you know, Beethoven, Bach, La Quana, because I fool around and I had a nice chord I hit. I built a song of that, that chord.
And then you find that chord and the words start to come? Okay.
Yes,
and then, yes. So when you wrote The Moon in the Sky, how did that come together? Because that is like one of my all-time favorite songs, and you wrote you did the composition, Under the Moon and Over the Sky, excuse me. That song is just so beautiful. Did that take a long time? Did you write it in one day? I mean, so many songwriters either take years or days.
No, attended Manhattan Music School in New York City, and assignment studying odd meters. Really, assignment, homework. That's write the song.
I hope you got an A on that, because I would give you an A for writing that song. I want to talk about this magical time in New York City during the 70s when you were, as you just said, you were going to the Manhattan School of Music. You then went to Hunter College and studied, I think you got your degree in voice. But you're coming up with all these other amazing talents, including Nat Adderley Jr., Valerie Simpson, and, of course, our mentor, Luther Vandross. So describe what that was like. How was that growing up in the 70s with all this incredible music and talent around you?
Awesome, because I joined the all-city chorus as a teenager. Also, a all-city orchestra. I met Nat Adderley and Buddy Williams. I grew up eventually, and then turned out all the musician friends played the first demo I have. It turned out that Buddy Williams also attended Manhattan School of Music.
And then another friend of yours, a flutist, I believe, Dave Valentin, steered you towards GRP. Yeah. That was a jazz label. So here you were. You've been a professional performer since the age of 16. You're writing these wonderful compositions like I Try, as we said, because of your crush, and your homework assignment of Under the Moon and Over the Sky. And now you're auditioning for a record label. How did that come together? How quickly did they see you, and did you get signed to GRP?
Well, David Valentine, a friend of mine, because I toured a Latin jazz band, Ricardo Marrero, and David Valentine played flute. Oh, I miss him terrible. And David told me, oh, yeah, I signed at a record company, a GRP. I asked David, asked him interested as a vocalist, you know. And Dave Valentine asked Dave Grusin, Larry Rosen, interested. Yes, come over to the office, and already wrote 6 songs. And audition, or play the piano or song or sing. So I'm interested a month later, and boom, record contract.
And then the next thing you knew, This Time I'll Be Sweeter for fans was being heard all over the radio. I mean, that is considered probably one of your early big successes. What was your reaction and your family's reaction to hearing you on the radio with that song back at that time?
Well,
I welcome you back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So the singer and of course the popular R&B artist that is Angela Bofill has passed away, according to her daughter, who actually came out to reveal her cause of death and of course the place where she passed on from. She said she passed on at her home, that is the daughter's home. And of course, the R&B singer was 70 years old. On Friday, June 14th, a representative for the performer whose hits include, I remember there was This Time I'll Be Sweeter, I Try, and Angel of the Night, and of course, so many other hit songs. She passed away on Thursday morning at her daughter's home in Vallejo, that is in California. And of course, news of her death was also shared on the artist's personal Facebook account in two separate posts on Friday. The post read, "On behalf of my dear friend Angie, I'm saddened to announce her passing on the morning of June 13th. The first post read, adding that her funeral will be held at the St. Dominick's Church in California, that is on June 28th at 1 p.m. A second update continued and said, "Just to clear up the confusion, on behalf of the SHAUNA Bofill husband Chris Portuguese, we are saddened but must report that the passing of Angela yesterday is indeed true. We thank MELBA and MAYSA for their early condolences. Thanks for your many posts and of course messages of sympathies." The message was signed by her friend and manager Rich Angel. And I remember in 2020 there was an interview she did with Essence, and she opened up about her life and career, after rumors of her death had circulated at the time, but then she came out and laughed and said, "I'm on your side, and I'm really trying to fix my life, and of course friends are calling me up, and it's really strange, but I'm still okay and I'm trying to live." She continued and said, "I figured they really like me, and of course it's better to have a sense of humor at some point." So she added that she had a will to live in order to see her grandchildren graduate from high school and college. Rumors continued and followed, I think still in 2020. Then I think this came early on in 2006 and 2007 when she received a stroke. And, she was losing her voice, learning to walk again. And, her complications from her stroke, were really strong, that